my 2001 Dodge Ram 2500. I picked this up as a project truck. Got it super cheap because it's a two-wheel drive. And it was basically rotted out on the whole bottom side. Front fenders, rockers, rear fender wells, the whole bottom underside was basically rotted off. So I was able to get it for super cheap, and wanted to kind of try my hand at Bodywork. So I turned it into a complete color change. I turned into new bumpers, and then I ended up putting rims and tires on it. Yeah, it turned into a completely different truck. So this is the truck now. Turned out really good compared to what it was. It's not perfect. This was my first time basically doing a full restoration, full body job. So I basically ended up buying all new front fenders. Those come as one piece, thankfully, so I didn't have to mess around with that. The passenger side was obviously a little less wrecked than the driver's, just because the salt they put on the road, mainly in the center. So this side wasn't so bad. I was able to actually leave a lot of that rocker still intact and just basically replace the bottom section of it. But yeah, like this was all had to be replaced in here. You can buy them in little sections and put them in. All welded, lap welded, so they're not butt welded, so there's no chance of water getting in behind. And when you lap it up on top, there's still a ledge underneath, so the water that gets thrown up underneath will shed off. And then anywhere I could seal, like down in this area where you can get at it from the back, I sealed it with seam sealer so that the welds have no chance of rusting out. I had to do a few patches in the fender wells. It's not real pretty, but definitely looks way better than it was with holes. Again, this isn't a SEMA paint job by any means, but it looks way better than it did. Axle dump, it's a 4-inch straight pipe with a, I believe that's a 10-inch MBRP, full stainless steel. Actually pretty hard to keep clean. Yeah, so it's got new mud flaps as well. They were well worth it. Just once I got the wider wheels and tires, it really sandblasted the sides real bad. So I put some wide mud flaps on to help negate that and just keep it a little bit cleaner. Obviously, living on a gravel road, it's tough to keep a truck clean in the summer, let alone the winter. As far as wheels and tires go, these are Vision 22 by, I want to say 14s. No, they wouldn't be 14s. 22 by 12s. We'll go with that. The main part that's kind of important is it's the negative 51 offset. So that's obviously what gives it that aggressive look on the side. It looks really, really cool. So that's a negative 51 offset. Wrapped in Deegan 38s, Mickey Thompsons. The difference of how it rides with those versus the stock tires is absolutely amazing. Just going around corners, it just seems to just hug the ground so much better. The stock ones just almost felt like you wanted to almost roll anytime you went around a corner. Terrible handling. But having the wider stance, it does make it a lot nicer to drive. You lose a little bit of the shock absorption from having less sidewall, obviously, but I think it's well worth the downside. just because of how well it handles, I think. Obviously, they hook up way better too. In the rain, the Michelins were just constantly spinning through each gear. So the Mickey Thompsons sure hook up well. Replaced the mirrors, obviously. They had those silly looking round things. I wanted flip out tow mirrors. Again, that was an eBay find. Color matched them to paint when I was doing it all. Headlights, they're not LED or anything, but trying to clean up the stock ones is kind of useless, so these are much nicer. Color matched the grill. It had these stainless steel grill covers in it, I guess, so I painted right over top of them because I thought they looked cool. Kind of covered the gross honeycomb whatever grill screen. The bumper I fabricated from scratch. I basically wanted to kind of my own look. I like the push bar style, and then I think the second gens really lacked in their looks because of how short the front grille is. So I wanted to achieve the look of, you know, the 4th gen, 5th gen, where it has just that tall looking face to it at the front. So that's hence the width, tapering up obviously on the side so it didn't look silly, and then showing off the tires. I think it turned out really cool. My welds aren't perfect again, but looks really cool. I think I got it pretty symmetrical. I'm pretty picky, and I was pleased with how everything turned out symmetrical wise. Light bars, those were just a Princess Auto special. It came with a wireless remote, which is pretty cool. So I can just flip them on for my visor without having to hardwire a switch in. Super bright. Those are basically my fog lights / whatever. Just don't get caught with them on. They work great though when it's really dark out, or even for work lights for that matter. What else we got? Obviously the whole undercarriage I left. The frame's rock solid still. I didn't feel the need to go crazy on that. Didn't want to go that extensive on this build. So that's kind of where I stopped underneath. On the inside, on the floorboards, I had a gaping hole like most Dodges do right here. So I ended up ripping up the whole carpet, the underlay, and then actually welding in a whole floor pan, which I pre-purchased just to make my life a little bit easier. So I did that. I did actually repaint the bottom of the seat, but for somehow that rusted again. Yeah, so that's a brand new rocker all the way around. But yeah, the door jambs are all painted. You know, the full works, full color change. There's only one spot I think I left under the hood, just so you can see what color it actually was from factory. Yeah, so I guess that'll wrap up the video. I did buy another truck, 3rd gen. I want to build it. It has minimal rust compared to this one. I'll have to do a bit of body work to it, and whole plan is to make it into a tow peg. I want to put 4-corner air suspension on it so it rides like a cloud, and then you can load up whatever you want and it'll still ride level. That's the plan anyway. maybe some twin turbos or something like that. Something fun with the engine. Make it really pump some power out. It's a 6-speed manual, so it's 4-wheel drive. So hopefully it'll be off to a better start with that. But yeah, thanks for watching.